You told me you had some thoughts on the new Genie Plus. So if people don't know the new Genie app, I'm getting touring plans vibes here. Disney has announced the free Genie app, which is going to help you plan your day. It's going to tell you wait times. It's going to recommend which direction you should walk your family. It's going to make dining recommendations, mobile order help with reservations. And it's going to tell you, oh, you should head towards Pirates because it's predicted to only have a 15-minute wait at 1:00. But then there's a paid element, which is similar to Disneyland's Max Pass, it's going to be $15 per person. Max Pass was $25. Mm-hmm. So just saying. And this is the part that a lot of people are resisting because they're used to free fast passes, 3 free fast passes before you even get to the park. And this is going to be day of fast passes. They're going to one at a time, and they're going to cost you $15 a day per person. And it's for select rides. It's not for every ride. And it sounds like the headliners, the big ones, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, those are going to be extra. And I talked about this on the podcast a few weeks ago. I said I would pay if I knew that I could ride a certain ride. So I guess I'm getting my wish.
You did this. Josh was listening to you then, and now you gotta reap what you've sown.
Okay. So, and then there's still going to be virtual queues for Rise of Resistance, and we've just found out Ratatouille, which is going to work the same way. So, what do you think?
So, a couple of years ago, Kurt and I did interview, or I should say Kurt and my cousin did interview Len Testa. And
I remember that episode. And I apologize. Michael is flapping his feet as loud as could be around the tile floor right now.
Well, it wouldn't be a recording if we didn't have Michael for at least a minute.
That's true. That's true. He can't come on screen because he's not wearing a shirt, and he knows the rule.
Yep, that's the rule.
He knows the rule not to crush the threshold unless he's wearing a shirt.
Absolutely. I heard Mandy Ray has a similar rule in her house.
Yes. So you were saying your cousin Glenn
and that fella Kurt on the podcast that shall not be named were interviewing Len Testa about touring plans vis-a-vis Genie. That's how long ago this thing was announced.
That's true. It's D23 a couple years ago. That's right.
Absolutely. And maybe just to dispel any quick myths, this was on Iger's watch that this thing was announced and conceived. I know everybody is taking to social media to
blame Chapek,
lambaste the money grubber. No, this was set into motion. Now we don't know the pricing if that has changed over time, but. I'm watching the internet explode just like you. Just saw before we came on something like 70% of dislikes on the YouTube video that Disney released about the Genie. So people are not enjoying it. But I may be unpopular opinion at this point, but I like it. I think it's going to change things for the better for a lot of us. And here's why. And I think this is important to kind of step back. Remember that it's already been quite a while since we had fast passes and life has gone on. But what's the biggest complaint that people say when they get back from their Disney trip? It was too crowded. It was too busy. The lines were too long everywhere. The food, the rides, everything. The lines were too long. And, I hate to say this out loud, but Disney is a business. They are in the business of making money, making lots of money. And their bottom line does matter, and they lost billions over the last year and a half with their parks being closed. And so I know that this is in some way, a way to recuperate some of those funds, but it's also, I think, very strongly a way that they can continue to try to improve the guest experience that they're trying to. And let's be frank about this. They're trying to have fewer people come.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And I agree with you. I don't know if I know that, you do listen to the Disney Crush, you're devoted. You listen the first day it comes out. So I don't know if you heard what I said about the Christmas party, that the reason why it's $250 is because they want it to be, they don't want it to be a big crowded. They don't want it to sell out.
I think you're noticing if you're reading the tea leaves between the increase in prices for things like that, just the increase in cost of rooms and tickets across the board, you're seeing Disney make a shift, and they are trying to decrease the number of people that come to the parks so that they can improve the experience for everyone that does come to the park. This will hopefully even out at their bottom line. They're not going to lose money. They're not going to make money, maybe more, but they're going to just about probably play it even. And that's the number they're trying to hit probably. And everyone who goes will go fewer times. And that's hard for, geeks, crushers, nerds, like us who want to go every whim. And it will change the way a lot of us engage with the parks. But I do think that when we go to the parks, it's going to be a better experience. I was able to go. I think I can't remember if you were too. No, I mean maybe not during the slow times. I went in November with my parents. Walked on to most rides. Got any reservation we wanted for meals. It was blissful, and we'll never see that again. Thankfully, I hope. But if that's something closer to an experience that we can expect, where rides are not 2-3 hours, but are 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, we can stand that, right? If you're not waiting in obnoxious lines, or you want to eat at Woody's Lunchbox, too bad, because you didn't go in at 9 a.m. and reserve your spot for lunch.
For a mobile order,
For a mobile order, there's no chance that you're eating it. This is what Disney wants, is for us to have a better experience. And I think this is the trade-off. So, it's a change. Let's be honest, a big change. It's a huge change, and that's why we're talking here. But I think it can be a change for the better. You mentioned the 3 different tiers, right? So if you don't want to pay for Genie Plus, you don't have to. If you don't want to pay for Rise of the Resistance, you don't have to. But if you just go in and you use the Genie, you're getting a lot of advantage from that app. You've got a virtual assistant like Siri. You can ask questions. Apparently, if that doesn't answer your question, you can talk to a live cast member somewhere, and they'll answer the question for you. You've got forecasted wait times. So they're going to use their algorithms to predict what the wait time is and lead you around the park. They're going to do the same for food. So if you want to eat right now and you're close to Skipper Canteen and the wait's 2 hours, but next door you can head over to Pecos Bill or Liberty Tree, it's going to tell you this is a walk-in, and why not? And there's some other aspects of it too. I'm not sure what this AR Photo Pass plugin.
I guess we'll see.
So we'll see. But I do think that it's going to take advantage of a lot of the AI technology that they've been developing for years with the Pass and the RFID and the Magic Bands. That whole thing that's going to allow you to have a better, more seamless experience, so that you're waiting in fewer lines. And I think that's in everybody's best interest.
And we've seen Disney for years try to manipulate the crowds, and they would do it with wait times. They would inflate wait times, and because they wanted more people to go to Tomorrowland and out of Fantasyland. And so this is going to be, you're going to look at the app and everybody's going to go toward Pirates. That's what I'm worried about, is that everybody's going to go toward Pirates at the same time, because they're saying at 1:00 there's going to be a 15-minute wait. I don't know how that's going to work.
I think we have to wait and see, of course. I mean, nobody has seen this thing live.
That's true.
We can freak out about, whatever we want. I remember people freaking out about the Skyliner. Oh, this is going to be
nobody complained. Nobody was scared of the Skyliner.
Who might that have been? Who might have been in this box a couple of years ago talking about that? And it's the greatest thing. I mean, it's some people's favorite ride on property.
Yep.
All right. So let's wait and see. if I want to believe that the IT is going to be good enough that
We
it's
hope.
going to, hey, you know, anything's possible. I want to believe that it's good enough that they're going to be able to not accidentally send everyone over to pirates, but they'll recognize where you are and they'll split it. You know,
Yeah, maybe.
the computers operate at such an advanced level from our simple brains.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until we see that it doesn't work, and then by all means, you know, we'll change our tune if that needs.
And I talked to a couple of my friends today about it, and I think that, you know, for some trips I'll get it, and for some trips I won't. It might depend on my traveling party. It might depend on what my goals are for that trip, what I want to accomplish. I might get it for one day because it's really important to get this done at Hollywood, but Animal Kingdom is a more laid back day, so I might not get it on that day. We're going to have to see what the pay structure is, what kind of, if they will build it into your trip, to your resort stay. If we don't know what they're going to offer pass holders. There were different levels of max pass holder rates. They gave them, some of them were included in some passes, some of them got breaks. So they haven't announced that yet. All they've said is there are currently no discounts for pass holders, but they're not selling it yet, and they're not selling passes yet. So that answer really isn't an answer. Yeah, no. We'll have to see.
We'll have to wait on that. And as an annual pass holder, I'm anxiously waiting to see what wrinkle there might be. But, you know, Toni-Ann, you brought up a really good point about using it some of the time. And that's, I think, a really crucial aspect of this. I'm going to tell you something crazy. I paid for the ability to fast pass on rides in April of 2019. Of course, that was at Disneyland on the Mac Pass system. And as a Disney World lover, I thought, no way I'm going to enjoy this. No way is this of value to me. Toni-Ann, it was the best. This is a family of 5 that we've got. If we're talking about $15 per person per day at Disney World, that's $75. We paid $125 per day. We did it for 2 of our 3 days, the first 2 days, because that's really all we needed to knock out the rides that we wanted to do on this potentially once in a childhood from my kids' trip out to Disneyland. And it was blissful. You go one fast pass or max pass after another, as long as you want all through the day. They did have the memory maker was tied into that one, which it isn't here. So that's a variable to be considered.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what that picture thing is. We don't really know. We don't know what that is.
I'm still curious.
But, and like, you know, I've heard you tell your 5-year-old trip stories, and, you know, you'll have one who's a thrill seeker and one who just wants to stop and smell the roses. So maybe you wouldn't, for that trip, you wouldn't need it, or, you know, you might be able to purchase it for one day if there's something that's important to that child,
or split the family. If mom always wants to hang out with the non-thrill seeker and dad wants to go with the thrill seeker, you buy 2 of these, and the other 2 go on Small World and Magic, and there's no issues there. I like the, you know, customizability of it, that you can buy it per person per day. And I'll ask you this as a local, and I don't have any perspective on this, but there was a time I remember when you guys couldn't get on Rise of the Resistance, when you had to be in the park and book.
Yep.
Now you can pay for it. Hey, let's $15. Why not?
I would have to. You'd have to. Like, I live 2 hours away. I'd have to leave the house at 5 o'clock in the morning so I could be there at 7. So this is nice.
So this advantages locals as well, and you know, the folks who are maybe don't have a reservation on property and aren't going to be, you know, getting in early and being able to take advantage of some of those things.
One thing that they did announce there was a quick video, and then there was like a 15-minute video that went more into detail. And one of the things that they explained is that resort guests, for this lightning lane that is for the big rides, the you know, the e-ticket attractions where you pay a little bit extra, regular day guests won't get to buy those until they arrive at the park opening, whereas resort guests will get to buy those at 7 a.m. So they'll get first dibs at those lightning lane reservations. They haven't said how much those are going to cost. They've just said it's extra. And they haven't said, do you have to buy the Genie Plus to buy the Lightning Lane reservation?
They did say that you do not have to. It's
you see, and that's
capital OR they put in there.
See, to me, that's I might do that for some things.
Yeah, and I don't know. Let's say it's $15 for one ride. Maybe it is. Maybe they've set the precedent. They're teasing out how are people responding to 15, and then the number is also 15 for one ride. Would you pay it? If that's going to make or break your day or your trip, you've got a whole Star Wars day planned. You've got Savi's booked. You've got Oga's, reservation already, and you really need the piece of the puzzle of that Rise of Resistance. Book it.
Yeah. I would have booked it for Dominic when I was going with him. I definitely would have. So, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you, I looked a little. I'm curious about what are these rides going to be? What's the next level of the breakdown going to be? We'll wait and see.
Right.
So this is not evergreen content, but
mm-hmm.
I looked at, it says 40 plus rides at Disney World are going to be available with Genie Plus, not those extra individual, kind of virtual
e-ticket. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's another point before I get into that. You can still try to get the virtual queue for Rise of Resistance, but and not pay anything. That's free. If you're good on those buttons, and Lord knows this community is, then or if you know Karen, then you're fine. And you don't need to pay that 15. If you're not good, or whatever it's going to be, if you're not as good at doing those buttons, or you don't get up, at the right time, you got a slow phone, you're staying off property, whatever, then you can still get that. You can still lock that in. But there's a lot of opportunities. Anyway, so I counted up how many previous Fast Pass rides there were before the world shut down.
Well, you happen to have a spreadsheet of Fast Passes because you had a game, right?
Exactly. Well, that's why. Well, not me, but the other guy.
Oh yeah, the other guy, your cousin.
Chessler over there. Chessler Run is just wild.
I think there's
you don't even want to know.
You got to take a picture with the pillar. You got to find some.
the little sand where the pillar used to be.
Right.
Yeah, so there were 65 previous Fast Pass attractions across all four parks. 65. That's well over 40. But how many of them are not open right now? How many are meet and greets and nighttime shows that don't exist?
Right.
All of those down, the number is 41. It's very interesting. So if Disney is saying more than 40, then that would be 41. And they love to open in fall of
everything's opening October 1st,
September 20th, right? But I think that would be very Disney to say that all of those minus Rise, I think there was about one or two in each park, that when you take those out, it still keeps it at that 40 range. But you got to have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Ratatouille, Rise of the Resistance, and Flight of Passage. So at least one in each park.
Yeah.
I'd be curious though, Toni-Ann, if they do a virtual queue or the opportunity to pay on more than one in a park. Because
Tron is coming, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming, and in the preview picture, it showed Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
So I bet you it locks in at a max at 2 at each park, and I don't know if Animal Kingdom gets a second one, but maybe they just put Kilimanjaro Safari on it for whatever, just to keep it even. But 2 in each park makes sense. If you start going with more than that, if this turns into tier 1 and tier 2 is now virtual queue, you get one, or you have to pay extra. I do think that creates some challenges, some problems with popular opinion of the parks.
All right. Well, I've seen a lot of people upset. They feel like Disney it's a money grab, but I really don't think it is. I think it's what you're saying. I think Disney is too crowded. They've been trying for years to raise the prices to try to see if they could limit crowds and it's not working. People are still buying the tickets. And they made the Boo Bash $200 on Halloween, and it's sold out. So what message did we send them? We told them, okay, we'll pay more.
I mean, I heard they've only got one day where there are any tickets left. September 12th, the only day they have tickets left for Boo Bash. Clearly, people are voting with their wallets what they want. They want to pay more for a better experience. And Disney is hearing that loud and clear. And they want those guests. Those guests, when you pay that much, you'll have a higher, I think, respect for the experience. Maybe you don't scrape the walls in the Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway. Maybe you pick up your trash and you put it in the trash can, because you've got a more intimate experience, and you're not just running through throngs of people feeling like cattle. I think this is a calculated and very smart move on Disney's part, and I hope I'm right. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has to bring, what Genie, how it enhances our enjoyment of the parks. I'm excited about seeing what Disney has in store for us. I'm cautiously optimistic, and like you said, the IT may be the biggest challenge that we're facing. So
with Disney,